Okay. One thing we hear a lot, one of the myths about cybersecurity is that you need a university degree or some kind of 4-year certification, et cetera, and that nothing could be further from the truth. And so one of the things that is difficult for academia to accomplish is a world of cybersecurity that is changing by the minute does not fit and is not suited to a 4-year institution's methods for teaching you an education. I'm not saying that a 4-year institution is worthless. What I'm saying to you is it's not going to be helpful to you in cybersecurity. And so let me give you an example of that, a practical real world example. So the Tech Data Cyber Range, we host university events and education events around the country. And we actually had a custom built capture the flag technology we built, and we had a bunch of different universities that attacked it and got a score. And so Pima Community College actually participated in one of these capture the flag events. And what is amazing is that every single one of their teams, including a team that said, what are we doing, how do we do it kind of thing, but had spent some time doing a little bit of that with the cyber range, they beat the best mentored university team by factors of score. That means they did several times better. So even the lowest level team scored factorially higher in the same capture the flag event as universities, which also had industry mentors with them while they were doing it. So that's a profound result. And that result comes from that the non-structured or stilted environment in which Pima Community College offers its educational its students, and the way the Tech Data Cyber Range also makes it possible for people to explore and learn. And the difference is so profound that I would say to you, if you believe that you need a 4-year degree to do that, do everyone a favor, skip it, get yourself an education somewhere else that's lower cost and gets you back out into the market quicker. And as a result, you will be happy, and so will we, because we will gain the benefit of your ability.
Yeah, we had an interesting revelation when we started off in our program. We brought in businesses from all around Tucson and held a summit. And we decided to take a different approach. And we said, instead of us telling you what the national norms are and how people normally approach things, you tell us what you need from our students so that you can hire them. And some of the revelation that we came across is that to a large part today, the system is broken to some degree. You can go through a 4-year degree, right, and learn a lot of theory and get a lot of really good stuff. But for in the workplace, where you need hands-on skills, you get that theory, but when those students come from those environments where they've just learned theory, and you say, go set this up, they don't know how. And then businesses find themselves having to retrain or train the students that they needed the training from college or certificate. Certificates fall into the same category. So until you get hands-on, because the revelation that we got was that what teaching IT really means is not just information to then be given back, but it's how do you approach and attack a problem that you don't know how to fix. And the only way that really happens is if you get to be in the situation where you work on those problems. And that's where the advantage of the range, the advantage of a student-run data center, the advantage of a student-operated security operations center, all this comes into play when they actually get hands-on and learn and get experience as they go from that. And also, when we create our program, we do it with what's known as stackable credentials, so that you can come and learn and be able to learn, depart, and come back and still be able to get skills and get some types of certifications and preparations to where you can get into a job and then grow and then come back. Learning has got to change fundamentally across this entire nation. It can't be the same.
Well, and fundamentally, Will, four-year degrees teach a lot of theory, right? The beauty of a community college like Pima is you get, like you said, you get that hands-on, getting your hands dirty. That was part of what I was telling before. You get that hands-on experience as well, which carries you into that real world. I started my education long ago in community college. I'm a firm believer in community college. I think they have better job placement. I think they have turn out better educated, real world students that are set up to succeed and not always challenged. You know, and in this industry, if you're not learning every single day and you feel like you're failing, failure is not a fail. It is a way to learn and think differently. And that's what these programs teach you to do.
Yeah, like Will said earlier, we decided to leave our ego at the door, and we asked industry what kind of program, what kind of cybersecurity associate's degree, for instance, could we build that they would be very excited to hire our graduates day one after they graduated. And they went out, and 25 strong came to a consensus fairly quickly and presented it to us. And then we built it. And so we really didn't design it ourselves. We let industry and business design it, and experts like Brett. And as a result, one of our local companies, a Fortune 100 company, who was never allowed to hire anybody with less than a bachelor's degree, has actually moved their HR ship around, and they are going to be hiring Pima Community College graduates with an associate's degree in cybersecurity.
You know, that's awesome. I know for a fact that your program is constantly being pillaged. Essentially, students that are learning with you are immediately going out into industry. And I love the fact that they also come back. So I think your educational approach also meets the needs of cybersecurity, because you are having to have a lifelong learning attitude towards cybersecurity. You will always gain more education, move it and take it out into the workforce, and then come back. And that cycle allows us all to maintain a higher degree of competency. And I absolutely love the fact that your program facilitates that.
And right, Brett, because one of the things I tell students all the time is that IT is a very unique field. It's a treadmill. Once you get on, it's constantly changing, constantly developing. You can't say, oh, I've learned this skill and have it be solid. It's a constant college cram. So the main thing you need to find out before you launch into a whole IT program is, do you love it? Because if you don't love it, you're going to be miserable, right? But if you do love it, do get into it, the learning never stops. It continues all the time.
Absolutely. And for those folks that are in business and may not want to do a formalized education, they can make use of places like the Tech Data Cyber Range, which is a place where they can get their hands dirty. They can learn on their own time. They can, at any time of the day or night, they can say, I want access to this thing and I'm going to try something out. And as a direct result, the combination of ambient cyber range capability with great educational institutions such as Pima Community College is that you are offered the many, many different ways to connect with continuing your education. And they are not exclusive of each other. They are dependent upon each other. But when they work together, profound results occur.